Ladies and gentlemen, you notice it just suddenly happened, like Hitler attacking Poland to launch World War II. Boom, jihadis out of the west of Iraq and the south take most of the country and are taking Baghdad as it falls. They are executing Shiites, Christians en masse. There are photos, there are videos showing some of that here today. 800,000 refugees are estimated to be fleeing right now. This is unbelievable. If they go into Saudi Arabia and they're Shiite, they'll basically be killed. Saudi Arabia is running this entire operation. And on record, and Kurt Nemo's doing an article on this the last 3 years, they've been arming al-Qaeda in Iraq and in Turkey to then invade Syria. And I said then, they are doing a replay of British intelligence from 1901 to 1931, when they founded the Saudi Arabian Empire, out of a group of vicious, hard criminals that had been raiding spice caravans for thousands of years. And you got to say the Bedouins, this particular group of Bedouins, are really rough, vicious, like Arab Wild Wild West Texans or something. And they took that small group, made them force all the other tribes under them. With British help and weapons, they took over Syria, everything. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is a Saudi Arabian Wahhabist Sunni. Now, Sunni's 80% of Islam, but the Wahhabists were only like 5%. Now they're about 30%. They're forcing everybody else to radicalize to them. And there are shots of the highways, just tens of thousands as prisoners being marched off to be forced to convert or being killed. And our media is sitting there with a giant hoax saying Obama's bombing them with drones. Obama's fighting back. This is all a setup. They will have a simulation where they will kill some low-level al-Qaeda people that are pouring in armored vehicles, brand new Mercedes and Toyotas and Jeeps. It was all massively staged in their base in the West. Saudi Arabia, NATO, Obama, on record, and they're now taking the country down. This was all planned. They're not just going to take Syria down, folks. They're going to take Iraq down. They had to get rid of Saddam first. Then they had to act like they liberated it. The U.S. pulls out. They drop it to Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia is conquering at least half of Iraq. They may leave part of the north to be Kurd and Shiite. The plan was always to break it in two, maybe three. Same thing in Syria. You've heard the CIA contractors on the show breaking it down. Benghazi was about shipping the weapons up there. This is mind-blowing. Now, the reason I know how they work is I've studied history. This is all mainline history. They gave the country to Libya, and their flag flies over most of the cities now, al-Qaeda flag. WorldNet Daily's reporting 200 U.S. contractors surrounded by jihadists in Iraq. So this is real. They're going to kill U.S. troops and contractors. They're going to kill Christians. Oh, it's real. And the highest levels of al-Qaeda understand they're being protected by the West and protected by British intelligence. Al-Qaeda is the New World Order's secret army they use to menace the West so our rights can be taken. Then they use it to overthrow all the secular Arab governments. They tried to have al-Qaeda last year overthrow the Egyptians, remember? They were burning churches, crucifying everybody, till the army came in and threw them out. You see, and the Egyptian government says our government's doing it. It is doing it. Our government runs al-Qaeda, folks. I hammered this for 3 years, and Ted Cruz and Rand Paul went and looked into it. Did discover that we were acting as al-Qaeda's air force in Syria and Libya, and said no more. It's admitted Libya is totally trashed now under al-Qaeda control. Women are wearing burqas, being sexually mutilated. The West isn't really fighting the Somali al-Qaeda folks. They're only fighting one group of them. They're letting them take over Kenya, and Obama's cousin Odinga is bringing them in. And the Kenyans' answer is, we're just going to arm our general public. And then Obama tries to get involved saying, no, don't arm the Kenyans. See, the head of Interpol says, no, it's time to arm the public against Muslim radicals. And our government says, no, at the UN. Even Interpol wants to arm people. See, there are good people in the system, folks. And let me tell you, it's scary. You're in a shopping mall and they come kill 65 people, women and children, get them down on the ground and say, are you a Muslim? No, boom, you're dead. So I'm going to explain this. Al-Qaeda and the Caliphate is a secret army of Saudi Arabia. And now they think we're so stupid, it's hidden in plain view. Here's the Belfast Telegraph, mainstream newspaper. Iraq crisis, Sunni Caliphate has been bankrolled by Saudi Arabia. Bush and Blair said Iraq was a war on Islamic fascism. They lost. No one is, people can get part of it. They don't get it all. It's so obvious, but so over the top. I'm going to explain this again. It's on Wikipedia with links to the British, Army Museum. This is not debated. This is mainline history if you study Middle Eastern history in the 20th century. In 1901, the British Empire openly funded Saudi Arabia to try to push out the Turks and what was left of the Ottomans. By the 1930s, you had Saudi Arabia founded, and it had even taken over other countries, okay? Boom. That's all this is, period. And they're going to use Iraq as a base to attack Europe and everybody else, and then our criminal leaders are going to use the al-Qaeda attacks to take us over. That's the deal. You attack us, we then will let you take over. When they flew 40,000 of them out in the airlift of evil, CBS News, Times of London, and paid them in gold bars. When they did that, it was to destabilize Pakistan. I have had Major General Hamid Gul on that will not talk to anyone else in the West. In fact, it's time to get Gul on ASAP. And he said, my analysis is 100% correct. Former head of Pakistani intelligence. He ran al-Qaeda against the Russians. He said, absolutely, it now works for the West. And absolutely, they're taking all these countries down and they're destabilizing Pakistan. So you hear, oh, we're bombing to fight al-Qaeda in Pakistan. No, that's any of their enemies. Secular, Wahhabist, Shiite, they don't care. You just hear, oh, another drone strike. And they have headlines like, we don't care who we kill. We don't even know who we're killing. It's just meant to destabilize the countries. In fact, when there's drone strikes, it destabilizes the secular government of Pakistan as the radicals aren't sophisticated enough, just like Americans, to go, wait a minute, the radicals work for the globalists. No. They're following the radicals who then say, we need to overthrow this government. The Pakistanis work with the Americans while they drone attack us. See, to drive them into the arms of al-Qaeda. Do you understand this is cloak and dagger stuff, folks? British Special Forces caught dressed as Arab terrorists. Remember the BBC reported on that? Staging terror attacks posing as Sunnis to attack Shiites to get a civil war going. Okay? Just like they're funding Nazis to overthrow Ukraine in a proxy war. And then when the Russians respond, they want a war with Russia. See, it's proxy war. It's World War III, people. And they're turning al-Qaeda loose worldwide. And it's hiding in plain view. Saudi Arabia brags about it.
Hi, I'm Dr. Edward Group. Today I'd like to talk about the war on women. You've experienced and heard about the benefits of super male vitality. Now, the new formula has arrived. Introducing the new Super Female Vitality. I have specifically designed this formula to help the body naturally regulate itself without the use of artificial hormones. Key ingredients chosen from the highest quality sources. Each of these ingredients works synergistically with the female body in order to maximize overall vitality. You've heard the reviews and the feedback on how the original Super Male Vitality has revitalized relationships. Now, both the man and the woman can have the revitalization in their own bodies with Super Male Vitality and Super Female Vitality. Secure your Super Female Vitality today from our limited stock at InfoWarsLife.com.